Welcome back to the channel, folks. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's get into today's wild story that's sending shockwaves across the internet. In a scene straight out of a political thriller, the set of The View descended into chaos as Karoline Leavitt, the fierce and unapologetic Trump-backed conservative powerhouse, walked onto the stage like a woman on a mission. With the confidence of a lioness and the precision of a seasoned debater, she faced off against the liberal co-hosts of the infamous talk show, and what happened next was nothing short of explosive.
Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this.
They're disgusting. She's Anna Navarro in your wildest imagination. You could never solo host a show. You will only ever make it as part of an ensemble, and you could never hope to achieve the success. So you can sit in your little cheap seats all day long and enjoy your little negative henpecking, but your careers are going nowhere.
How ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists, but they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years.
The tension was palpable from the second she sat down. Whoopi Goldberg, never one to hold back, immediately launched into a tirade about disinformation and Trump's lies. But Karoline, she didn't flinch. She fired back with facts, figures, and a level of composure that left the panel stunned. With each word, she tore through the leftist talking points like a blade through butter, until Whoopi, flustered and visibly shaking, let out a scream that echoed through the studio, bringing the entire show to a shocking, unscripted halt. The segment began innocently enough, or at least it seemed that way. Karoline Leavitt, the bold former Trump spokesperson and rising Republican star, had been invited onto The View for what producers claimed would be a balanced discussion. But viewers quickly realized they were watching a live battlefield when Karoline was immediately cut off mid-sentence. Not once, not twice, but 3 times, by co-hosts Joy Behar and Sunny Hostin, who seemed unprepared for the firestorm that was coming. Karoline, clearly expecting the ambush, did not back down. Instead, she smiled, a calm, almost defiant smile, and delivered one of the most bone-chilling lines in live television history. If you want to talk about election denial, maybe ask Hillary Clinton why she called Trump illegitimate, or ask Stacey Abrams what year she thinks it is. The audience gasped. The table froze. Whoopi leaned forward, her eyes blazing, and began to raise a voice, but Karoline wasn't done. She leaned in too and continued, each sentence hammering like a gavel in a courtroom. She brought up inflation, border security, media bias, and every attempt to shut her down only made her voice louder, clearer, and more unstoppable. What happened next is already being called the meltdown of the decade. As Karoline invoked a quote from Abraham Lincoln about the press being more dangerous than standing armies, Whoopi interrupted with a raised hand and said, No, we're not doing this. But Karoline cut through with a final blow. You invited me here to speak. If you can't handle the truth, maybe it's your show that needs to be fact-checked. It was at that moment Whoopi screamed, a primal, frustrated yell, and abruptly stood up, throwing her cue cards down as she stormed off the set. The camera jerked, the audio dipped, and a producer could be heard shouting, "Cut! Cut to commercial!" But it was too late. The moment had already gone viral. Social media exploded. Clips of Karoline calmly dismantling the show's talking points were spreading like wildfire. Hashtags like Karoline owns the View Whoopi meltdown began trending globally. People from all sides of the political aisle couldn't believe what they'd just seen. Backstage reports say the show was thrown into complete disarray. Whoopi allegedly refused to return, and producers scrambled to regain control of the live feed. Meanwhile, Karoline, she walked off the set with the same calm poise she entered with, like a warrior who knew she'd just won a war. This wasn't just a TV moment. It was a cultural flashpoint. A bold young voice walked into one of the most hostile arenas in media and left it in ruins. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Was this the most savage media moment of the year? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more breaking political drama, bold moments, and unfiltered truth. See you in the next one. Stay loud, stay free.